Rev up your engines for the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast with Big E. Proudly sponsored by Christensen Law, where bikers helping engine bikers is more than just a motto. It's our commitment to the biker community. Be sure to tune in and listen to the latest news and biker buzz. And for all your personal injury needs, be sure to contact the Christensen Law team at 248-900-9000. Welcome to the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast, where the rubber meets the road and the tales of the ride unfold. I'm Big E, your guide on this two-wheeled adventure. Life is short, bikers, so let's get after it. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. As you are well aware, May is Motorcycle Awareness Month, and this episode is part of my podcast blast for May. You'll be getting 2 episodes a week for the entire month, so bear with me. Content has been actually quite easy to find. This episode, I'm very lucky to be able to speak with the new President of A.B.A.T.E, Gary Kopta. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
I hope I pronounced that right too. I usually
Kopta, but I've
Kopta?
been called Kopta all my life. So
yeah, all right. Well, that's good. I didn't mess it up too bad then.
Nope.
All right, so let's start with the easy stuff. How long have you been with A.B.A.T.E?
I joined in 2008, and I became a life member in 2009.
Okay, and I'm hoping you're a rider.
Oh yeah.
All right. That's good. So you started in 2008, became a life member in 2009. What region were you in?
Region 10, Saginaw County and Gratiot County.
Okay. So you're over on the other side of the state over there? Did you seek anything in your region, like do anything, step up and become active and like?
It took me a couple years to actually get involved in the meetings and stuff, and then I became I was nominated to be the secretary because at the time I was the only one that had internet.
Oh, nice.
So then a couple years later, I became the treasurer. So that's what I amounted to at the region level.
At the region level. Very good, very good. So now you're filling some pretty big shoes, taking over from Vince, who was on the podcast. That's
big shoes.
Yeah, that's got to be quite the step up.
I was state treasurer in 2018. I started with the state treasurer, so I've been on the board for a few years or so. Sat back and watched.
So you kind of been watching, sitting on the sidelines, learning.
Sure.
All right. So what inspired you to pursue leadership within A.B.A.T.E, Michigan?
Well, like I said, I was a state treasurer. So Vince decided to retire last October. He announced it. And, at first I wasn't going to step up to try to be the president. Then I had some board members approach me to ask me to run. So I thought about it for a little while. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, maybe I should do it. I'd like to go pursue a little bit more, become more involved in just the treasurer and see if I can't keep the ball rolling in the right direction.
Right. So what are your primary goals for the organization during your presidency?
To basically kind of continue what we're doing. We fight against the helmet laws and whatever we don't agree with, we question our politicians, and we, if there's some bills that we want to get pushed through, we hook up with some other politicians and hopefully we can get stuff put through that we want. And we want to continue with our education and the awareness. All that stuff is very important. So I just kind of want to keep it all rolling and see if I can't improve a few things here and there as we go.
So, I was talking to Woody earlier, and he said you're going to probably be pushing a little bit more tech forward. I kind of got him on the show. He was not aware that there's an actual ABATE of Michigan app for your phone.
Really? I didn't know that either. You think maybe that was going on to the board, you think?
Do you have an Apple phone? I guess that's my next
question.
See, and apparently it's not available for Apple.
Oh, okay.
But it is available for the Android, which I am an Android user. So yeah, he didn't feel too bad about that, but he was gonna do some research on that. So
sure.
Yeah, there's an ABATE of Michigan app. So
that's cool.
Now you know too. So he was totally caught off guard by that. So I guess you won't feel so bad because you were caught off guard too. So I am currently an ABATE member. I recently signed up after talking with Vince and telling him I was going to do it. And of course, Tiny played a little role in that as well.
And Tiny plays a big role in a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the few guys that comes up and puts his arm around me and I have to look up to. So he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to engage and empower members to actively participate in ABATE's initiatives and advocacy efforts? I know, it's one thing to join, but it's another thing to join and get involved. What are your plans to
Well, a lot of things, like say, social media. Facebook's been a good thing. This podcast is really helpful. Get people talking, and when the more members we get, if we can kind of get them to meetings and get them fired up about what's going on, we've learned that over the years that the more involved people are, the more they're apt to go to Lansing, make phone calls, and that kind of thing. Basically, it's just trying to get people to come to meetings to learn information, to use that information to help.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, it's tough to get in all clubs, it seems like, and a lot of things where it's voluntary. It's just tough to get people to want to help.
You start talking about the helmet law. There's a lot of passion still.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the sport bike riders, the helmet's part of their wardrobe, but they do like the idea of, having choice.
Right. And, I think there's some insurance things that are weighing pretty heavily on the minds of us motorcyclists currently.
And they should be. It could be, you could lose everything in the wrong circumstance.
Right. So is there anything that you guys are like going after right now or looking to?
Well, we still got our bills we're trying to get passed, and right now they just had the special election down there by Detroit area and to get who was going to be replacing, because two of the reps wound up being mayors in their towns. Mm-hmm. So they just replaced them with just had an election year last Tuesday. So we're kind of waiting to see where the chips fall about where we can maybe start talking to whoever we need to talk to get the stuff passed, because it can be devastating.
Right. So, what do you have any strategies in mind to strengthen ABATE's relationship with the local communities and government entities, or?
Well, we're trying to get some more family events going. I think that looks good for all bikers. We're actually this year we're working on a family camping weekend. I mean, we have our field meet and our seminar, but them are adults only.
Right.
So we're trying to find something that can have kids and kid things, because face it, there's a lot of people out there that can't get away from their kids for the whole weekend. They don't want to get away from them. Those weekends are their special time, so we're trying to incorporate more of that. And with that, I think we'll get more younger people and that, more community events going on. Try to be in parades. My region is going to be in the parade at the Highland Festival in Elma. I think that's next month, if I'm not mistaken. So, there's just different things going on. We're trying to be more community involved, but at the same time, we still have to take care of ABATE.
Right.
That's our main thing. A lot of our regions, they do donate. We actually have a run coming up. It's not ABATE related, but there's going to be a lot of ABATE members, a family in a nearby town. Their house caught on fire, so we're having a benefit run. A bunch of us are going to be there to help with that family.
Right.
So, and,
doing
as far
doing
as
what us bikers do.
Yeah, right. You're right. You're right there. That's basically what we are. We're just do all the charity stuff, but at the same time, we're fighting for everybody's rights too.
Right. And that's huge and important.
Yes. And for the government stuff, I mean, we have our Pizza and Pop in October this year. We have our Freedom Rally, which is on the 12th of June, that's on the front steps of the Capitol.
Right. We were talking about that earlier. Dave,
cool.
Dave touched on that. Yeah.
And that's our biggest thing is for the government stuff is just be there.
Yeah, just show up.
Our legislative group is there almost at least once a month, sometimes twice a week. Depends on what's going on.
Right.
So,
very cool. So you're busy.
Oh yeah. You can be as busy as you want. You know how Lansing is.
Yeah. So, in what ways do you envision ABATE evolving to meet the changing needs and concerns of motorcyclists?
Well, trying to, again, go back to the younger generation. If we can get them involved, we've got a junior membership we're going to try to implement. Get some more communication going from the members all the way up to me. If we can get people talking and learning things from each other, sometimes this left hand doesn't even know what the right hand's doing. So if we can come together as a group and get stuff going at the same time, we can have, get some more stuff accomplished. That's my theory anyways.
Right. It seems like, I don't know, it seems like with a lot of things that I've noticed, you got to kind of look for the younger generation to kind of start grooming them now.
That's exactly right. That's why this will be the first time we tried this junior membership. I'm kind of excited about that to get some, the field meet and the seminar is adult only, but so if you're not 18, you can't get into them.
Right.
With this junior membership, at least they can, be more involved in the meetings. They can be, it seems like if you include them more, if you're a member, you're included more, obviously.
Right.
So you can get some more stuff like that going. We're hoping that, like you just said, groom them early.
Yeah, we're running into that where I work, where we've got people that are retiring, and it's like, well, who do we have that's going to do that?
That's exactly right.
So we all got to be thinking like that.
Yep.
Take that extra step and join ABATE, get involved, get active, help out. I've told Woody and I've told everybody, especially ABATE, you guys are always welcome on the podcast. I will make time. I will make room for whatever, because it's an important,
how you get your word out.
It's an important message that needs to, if there's something that we can do to help, we want to help. That's what we're about, helping the biker community.
Sure thing.
So, I got one more question here, and then we can kind of freestyle a little bit. Stupid paper. Man, who would think that getting two pieces of paper separated would be so difficult? How do you plan to collaborate with other motorcycle advocacy groups or organizations to amplify ABATE's impact and achieve shared objectives?
Well, we already do collaborate with the MRF. It's a Motorcycle Riders Foundation. They're based out of D.C., but basically they fight the laws on the national level.
Right.
Our state laws. They're, anti-helmet and all that kind of good stuff is for, through D.C. If they pass a law in D.C. that says you got to wear a helmet, it don't matter what we do, you're going to wear it.
Right.
That's how we got stuck with it in the first place. But as far as other organizations, there's if they have something going on, we have club members in ABATE, and if there's stuff, we try to do as much as we can together, that kind of thing. So it's we're open for anything. We just want to become a group, because with this insurance thing, it's basically David versus Goliath.
Definitely.
So we need all the members we can. We don't have the finances that the insurance companies have.
No, they've been taking them premiums for years.
Is the best way we can do it.
Right. And you guys do bike nights. I know here in Region 3 they have bike nights. I'm not sure about Region 5. You would think, since I'm part of that region, I would know more, but
right. My region does not have them. We have them at the bar that we have our meetings at. They have them. So
okay.
We attend them, obviously.
So and you guys are you're at all the big biker events over on that side of the state. Yep. Bikes on the Bricks, do you guys represent there, or?
I've only been there a few times myself. The region that's down there, not overly active. They're struggling a little bit right now. So but my region might go down there and try to set up a booth to get something going down there. We haven't decided yet. So we got to get a hold of them and team up with them down there and see what we can do.
So yeah, I kind of noticed, and again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about the whole grooming them and getting them going. Some of the regions have become kind of stagnant,
and that's a problem.
Yeah, because I'm guessing because the older bikers are getting older and they just aren't doing it anymore.
Well,
and there's no way to fill those shoes.
Yeah, one of our regions up in the UP, they're basically they all just sold their bikes, and they're 70s, 80s years old. It's and we didn't have anybody up there to step up and do anything, so they're kind of dormant. So it's Woody's trying to work on getting that going again. Right.
It sounds like he's having a little bit of success up in the UP.
He's done good at Region 2, which is Sault Ste. Marie and St. Ignace area. They haven't been doing anything since I've been a member. And he's got that up and running this year. So
that's good. That's
definitely
good.
A plus.
I know we've got a new RCNR in Region 5.
Sure.
So a lot of times bringing in fresh blood is a good thing.
Yes.
And
new ideas.
Yep. And hopefully that you are now president, you are some fresh blood. You'll have some new ideas on your own and advance us even more in the state.
That's what I'm working towards.
That's good.
And if you have any concerns for me, you call me. You have my number. You call me anytime.
Yeah. And everyone that I've contacted, like I said, I busted up. I give Woody a hard time. I gave him a hard time about some stuff, and it probably wasn't really fair of me because he was, just kind of getting going, doing things, and he has a lot on his plate as well now.
He does, and I gave him a few extra things to do too.
Yeah. So I mean, I busted his chop. Well, I busted Tiny's chops. So
you got more guts than I got.
So well, I didn't know whose chops I was busting. I was making some comments on my podcast about Region 5 not being very active up where I live. That's kind of why I hadn't joined. And I went on a ride for James Steffes. I had they were on the podcast, and so we went down there, and this big fella comes up to me and puts his arm around me. He goes, "I know you." I'm like, "Oh
boy,
yeah, you're the podcast guy. You're Big E." I'm like, "Yes, I am." He goes, "We'd be more active in your area if you remember."
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, and then I talked to Vince, and I was like, "Yeah, I need to," and my other buddy Rob Norton, he told me it was, man, you got to do it. It's good. So.
Well, like I tell everybody, it's $25 a year.
Yeah,
and then if you don't want to participate, we need your numbers. We can go to Lansing and say, look, we got this many thousands of people that want this done. But I'd like it if everybody was more, going to meetings and stuff like that. But at least join, so it helps us at least. You have numbers.
It is, and it's a numbers game. A lot of it, just because they're not going to listen if there's no reason to listen.
Nope. And, like I said, the first 2 years I was a member, I never really went to meetings, nothing. And I went to one, and I said, well, this is for me. I'm not a huge fan of the government, and I love motorcycles, so it's the right organization for me.
Right. I have yet to go to a meeting. And
really?
So the past RC, I guess, was they bounced the meetings around a little bit. And
sure.
And there was one that was pretty close to me. But I never went. And that was even before that was before I was a member, when I was thinking about becoming a member.
Okay.
And then now there's a new RC, and it looks like they have meetings monthly at the same location in Muskegon.
Okay.
So one of these Sundays, I'll have to take a ride when the weather's nice, hopefully, and it'll give me an excuse to get out and ride to Muskegon. Not that I really need an excuse to ride to Muskegon, but um, yeah. So that's kind of my plan. I'm going to make a meeting. So
it's very informative.
Yeah, and then I imagine I'll probably get more involved because that's just who I am.
Good.
I'll get hooked up at some point doing something, and it'll be on. That's just the way I function. So,
sure. You got to come down there to the Freedom Rally. You can set up a shop down there and talk to different people.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I got to look at my calendar and see what's going on. That's another thing. They're doing. Karen's got that ride for the signs, and she's like, "Oh, it's the day before the blessing," and I said, "That, all right." So here's the thing. She goes, "Well, we expect to see you there," and I'm like, "Here's the thing. I talk to my buddies that work at the Harley dealership, and I'm like, man, this would be a great job. I should totally get a job here. I would love it." He's like, "No, don't do it." I'm like, "Why not?" Because when it's nice out and everyone's out riding, you're here working.
You got it.
So,
you got it.
And I want to go to this ride, and oh, my dad's calling. Anyways, I have like opportunities for podcasts, and because there's going to be people in Baldwin, and that's 10 miles from my house. Oh, so, we typically do some podcasts that weekend. I don't even get to go on my club's ride on Saturday typically. So,
well, that ain't good either.
No, we'll ride Friday, and I mean, I'm going to try to meet up with Karen at least for one sign. Hopefully I can get in and out of the podcast studio unscathed. But yeah, just Region 3 is pretty awesome. And in my opinion, they're very active, and I like that.
They have hopefully, well too.
Hopefully the new RC in Region 5 is going to get things active, because I don't know how active they were, but they didn't seem very active in my area anyways.
Okay. They didn't they did okay up there.
Yeah.
They stayed busy.
I mean, they do have a lot going on because they do bike time and
right,
that stuff, but and there again, I don't know how many members are even up in the Ludington area. I know
off the top of my head, I really have no idea.
I know there's one individual who I've yet to meet, who is Ed Bear Skidema.
Bear, there you go. He's our legislative officer. He's doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, I have yet to meet him in person and shake his hand, but I'm working on it this year. It's kind of my goal right now, because we were out on Christmas Day at the beach, and he rode through. And I mean, everybody knows him, but I have yet to meet him. So that is my goal for this season.
Yeah, I recommend you do what the guy is. He's just doing an amazing job as our legislative guy. He stays on top of these bills like you've never seen. Right,
and apparently he's quite the character on top of that. So he'd be good. He'd be good for the podcast.
Yeah, I think he would.
So I think Woody said he was going to make that happen. So we'll see.
Good.
So you got a pretty good crew of guys and girls.
We have a good board right now.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with them.
And you got Vince is still around, but he's retired, quote unquote.
Yeah, he's he retired from here, but he's still on the board, and he's still active with that. So, like he said, he's got too many years invested, so he's not going to let it fail.
Right.
And I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, it's nice to have that to fall back onto, because he seems like the kind of guy where you could just go, "Hey, what's what?"
Yeah, if I have any questions, he's like, "Oh, and I have."
Oh yeah, and he's probably enjoying a little bit more time to ride.
Sure,
hopefully
he rides every day.
Yeah,
we have pictures of him riding in the blizzards, going to the seminars.
Yeah, he talked about that on the podcast. So he rode seminars. Yep. So, how much riding do you get to do?
Not enough. I'm still working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is ABATE is your second job, or are you
Pretty
like,
much.
like Woody, where you got like 4 jobs?
Yeah, well, we own our own little landscape and lawn service business.
Oh.
So if I get out early enough, we'll take off and go for a ride to get something to eat, something. But I try to get on the weekends, at least go somewhere. And we spend a lot of time up there in your area. We'd like to give money to the casinos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife likes to do that. Me, not so much, but she's more of a gambler than I am. Probably because she's luckier than I am. She's probably the only lucky thing that has happened to me. So,
Yeah, join the club.
So what are you riding right now? Let's go there.
I have a 2016 Harley Ultra Limited.
Nice.
Yep.
103, or is that got the 107 in it?
What's that?
So you got the 103 or the 107?
103.
103, yeah.
Every September me and my wife take a long ride. We've been out to Wyoming and that kind of thing, so we like to ride in comfort.
A really long ride.
Yep.
We're getting ready to
usually take a week, go out somewhere.
Yeah, very cool. We'd like to do those long rides. I haven't been out to Wyoming yet, but
It's beautiful out there.
We're working our way there. I'm right now currently planning our 2025 trip to Sturgis.
Oh, are you?
So, yeah, that's quite the ride. It's going to be quite the ride out. Yeah. And there's probably 10 of us going, I think, or more.
Wow, that'd be nice.
It'd be a good group, but some of those, I don't know how long they've been on a bike as far as riding for 6 or 8 hours at a stretch,
Right.
So, and we do a couple of long trips, relatively long trips. I mean, not 1,300 miles. Well, we do like 12 or 1,300 miles in 4 days, but
Okay.
this is going to be 1,300 miles in like 3 days.
Yep.
So I don't know. Some of these guys haven't done that, or I don't know if they've done that are planning on going. So it'll be interesting to see.
No, it's later in the year. It's usually you have your riding going.
Yeah, that's some hope my calluses are good to go.
There you go.
Of course, I have a 14 Ultra Classic, and
nice.
First thing I did is I bought a seat for it.
Oh, okay.
And that was pretty much it. I mean, them bikes are you get on one of those and take off. Why you can ride halfway across the freaking country on one of them things.
Exactly right. That first when I got my bike new, I took off two weeks after I bought it just by myself, and I went 800 miles the first day. I stopped in Kansas City from my house.
Wow.
And it was just a nice ride. I could get up and I could still walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was nice.
The first big trip I did, being like 300 and 400 mile ride for a day, was on a Softail. And
okay. Oh boy,
it wasn't terrible actually, but man, jump on one of these touring bikes and it's a whole different game.
You got it.
Cruise control is so nice.
Yep, and the stereo and
Yep. I cheated because I did have a stereo on my Softail, but
did you?
Yeah, I put one on there, an aftermarket one, but
oh sure.
And I had a windshield, but
yep.
That still ain't anything like having that fairing.
You got it. It's just so much nicer.
So how long have you been riding?
Well, like most people, I started out with dirt bikes when I was a kid.
Yes.
And then I quit for 15, 20 years. And then I got my first road bike in 2006. I got my first Harley.
And what was that?
A Softail.
Softail?
97 Softail. 97 Heritage.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was a little rough riding. You got 300 miles on that. You knew you rode.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, maybe I was just trying to be tough to the guys, but
there's that too.
I did catch a little bit of heat because I bought a butt buffer seat cushion for my Softail when we went on that trip. So I caught a little bit of heat about that, but it made the ride nice.
Yeah. That's all in fun. I love trading shots with people.
Oh yeah.
All in fun.
That is all in fun. And especially when you get 5 or 6 of your buddies, and it's a good time.
Yep.
All right. Well, Gary, you have a great night. Thank you for coming on my show.
Glad to do it. Call me anytime.
Hopefully we hear lots of good things going on, and I'll probably be getting more involved, so I might just be calling you all the time.
Call me all the time, and come to our field meet that's out there in Wolverine.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing that because we'll actually be back from we do our wild hog strip, and we're actually Father's Day weekend is when we do that normally.
Oh, okay.
So I think that might have been what was going on last year. We didn't go because we had talked about going.
But we moved it back from last year. It used to be the same weekend as the Michigan Mackinac City thing.
Oh, maybe it was that then, because we went up to Mackinac.
Yeah, but no, so we moved it back 2 weeks further in the month.
So yeah, and it's a good deal. The what is it to get into that? It's
I think it's $25 a night to camp or whatever. It's more than that, I think. But I think it's
darn reasonable. Anyways, if you've paid for camping,
$25 per couple until May 31st.
Yeah, and then it's $25 per. Yeah. So, got a few more days to get after it and get a cheaper price on camping. Anyways.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice campground.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty nice up there. I have not been there.
Got a nice pavilion. We'll have vendors there for food, and our products girl will be there for T-shirts and that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
right.
It's a good time.
Good times. All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show. Hopefully we'll hear all kinds of good stuff from A.B.A.T.E this summer. I'm going to try to get down to do a live podcast with Region 5 and 8. They called me.
Perfect.
RJ called me, and
good.
I need to call him back and let him know that I'm on board with trying it. So
good.
Yeah.
That's another one that's trying to get things going in his region. So
good deal. Hopefully I can help. You guys need some time on the podcast, let me know, and more than happy to have you guys on.
I sure will.
All righty, man. Have yourself a good night. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day, and
no problem.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Yeah. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
There you go, everybody. Right from the president of A.B.A.T.E of Michigan, Gary Kopta, new president. So I'm sure we'll be hearing more things from him. Well, it's been a long day already. This was my 4th podcast interview of the day, so I'm kind of worn out. I know it doesn't seem like it's much just sitting here talking on the microphone, but there's actually quite a bit of prep work and stuff goes into these. And I still have to do like 2 YouTube videos yet this weekend. So if you're not already, please search for us on Facebook and follow us, Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast. If you're not in the Mid-Michigan Biker Facebook group, you might want to ask to join. Make sure you answer the questions. There are questions before I can approve your membership. We do that just to keep the bots out of there and all that silliness that can happen. Go over to YouTube. Check out the Mid-Michigan Biker YouTube channel. I've got probably a half dozen or so videos up there. You can also listen to the podcast on YouTube. All the episodes are streaming on there now. That's something new. And do me a favor, and if you're not already, go check out Northern Michigan Bikers Facebook page and his YouTube channel. Rob, super good guy, and he would love some more people watching his videos. So be sure to check him out. That's all I got for you, bikers. Hopefully you're out there riding and listening to the show and thinking about riding and dreaming about riding and all that. And remember, life is short, bikers, so get after it. Thanks for for listening to the Mid-Michigan Biker Podcast. Have a good one, bikers, and remember, life is short, so get after it.